What's up, y'all? Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hope everybody's having a good day. We got back to school season in full swing. So I know a lot of you guys have been locked in on some back to school stuff on Amazon. Just popping on to the live here for probably 30 minutes to answer any questions you guys got about selling on Amazon. And also to let you know that if you're watching very quickly on the replay, if you're already here, we'll be on the free live class at 7 p.m. Eastern tonight. So we're going to basically break down everything you guys need to know in order to sell that first $10,000 on Amazon. Really just show you everything you need to know all in one place, and a lot of sourcing info that we typically only share on the free class as well. So yeah, let me know who we got in chat though. Drop any questions you guys have about selling on Amazon. What's up, Adrian? How you doing? See, Hunter, you were 15 minutes early to stream today. What's up, Hunter? I know I saw you on yesterday's stream too. Hope everything's going good for you. Let's see. Yeah, so just let me know. I'm on TikTok and YouTube right now, so let me know either way if you guys have any questions about selling on Amazon. I've been in the game for over 6 years at this point, or I guess it'll be 6 years in like a week or so, something like that. And I've sold $6-ish million since then. So let me know any questions you have. Let's see. You're asking, how do you register a brand so you can list your first product? If you want to register a brand, you need a trademark to have the proper brand registry. The best place for you to start, man, is selling name brand stuff that already sells, rather than having to create your own product and all that kind of stuff. The easy way to go is just reselling whatever already sells profitably, basically. And that's all I've ever really done. And yeah, able to scale pretty nicely on that, basically. Sweet. What's up, Jose? Good to see you, man. Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, so yeah, like I said, let me know what other questions you guys got about selling on Amazon, making money online, all that good stuff. And yeah, it's good to see all you guys today. Let's see. You found out they allow FBA boxes over 25 inches. Is that true? In it's a new policy, so you were correct. It didn't used to be like that. One of the dimensions can be 36 inches now, which is like a very minor change. But if you're shipping a bunch of stuff that is pretty light, so and takes up a lot of space, I can see how it would save you some shipping costs though. Yeah, I haven't changed much based on that, but you can have a slightly bigger box now. Sweet. What's up, James? What's up, Sobia? How you guys doing? Are we going to Amazon Accelerate? Potentially, Nolan. I'm not positive on that yet. That's like Amazon's own conference for those of you guys who are new to the game. Let's see. You started a brand, you need to list it on Amazon, and you're struggling. Yeah, that's why I was saying the best place for you to start is just to sell stuff that is already successful, basically. And that's all I focus on is selling name brands. That way you don't have to worry about listing, marketing, advertising, all that good stuff. You just buy stuff that's less than what it sells for on Amazon and make your money that way. Yeah, and for those of you guys on TikTok and YouTube, if you want to see how I do everything, we're doing a free class in about an hour and a half. The free class starts. So that's free up in my bio. It's in the comments on YouTube. We'll source products together, talk about ungating, the best ways to scale, take advantage of back to school, which is right now. You're talking about how do you find products that are auto ungated? Yeah, so we'll break that down on the free class here in about an hour as well. So if you want to hop on and be on the screen share with us while we're sourcing items and breaking everything down, that's a good way to do it for sure. Yeah, you need to register a brand, you need a trademark. I know you've been asking a bunch of questions about private label. That's typically going to be a really expensive way to start Amazon, because obviously you have to make your own product, and then you're also going to have a very slim chance of your first product being successful. So you might as well learn how to do Amazon selling things that already sell. And then if you want to do private label, I love it. It's just generally not the smartest idea to do it right off the bat. Yeah, let me know what other questions you guys got here though. How can you start, and how much do you need? I had like $1,500 when I started selling on Amazon, and I started just by selling used books. Partially because I didn't know that you can buy and sell name brand stuff on Amazon. So if I was doing it all over again, if you have at least $1,000 to $2,000, you can just start buying stuff from big websites and flip those on Amazon, basically. And if you want to see how I do everything, I'll see on the free class here in a little bit. That is up in my bio. It'll be about 90 minutes of pure value, showing you guys how to do everything you need to do to hit those Amazon sales goals, basically. Selling it for Walmart, yeah. So it already exists and it's free, yeah. So if you're at all interested in selling on Walmart as well, WAMP WAMP is SellerAmp's tool for Walmart, and it's completely free. So it'll calculate fees, show you offers, that kind of thing. Yeah. Is an LLC required? Not required, Max. A lot of people do have one. It's kind of up to your personal, your personal tax setup, that kind of thing. You want to talk to a qualified, tax professional and that kind of thing. I got an LLC after I was selling on Amazon for a little bit, but you don't need one to make the Amazon account. Let's see. How do you start this? You're gonna join the class. Yeah. So we'll show you how to do everything. Like in the hour and a half or so that we'll be on the class tonight. That's up in my bio. Short answer though is buying things from. Let's say I bought some stuff from Walgreens yesterday, for example, right? So I bought stuff at Walgreens that had a coupon and like a buy one get one sale, essentially. And I bought those items and I sold them on Amazon because they sold for well over double what I was paying for them after I created a bunch of discounts and that kind of thing. Yeah. Never sold anything like that, dog. You might see if you've ever seen like somebody pretending to be me, like DMing, like trying to sell some crazy stuff or crypto or that kind of thing. That is not me. Yeah, we just have the software and the FBA Roadmap. So I'm not sure what you're talking about. Probably a fake account there. Where do you source your products? Big websites. Yeah. So probably 95% of my inventory so far this year is just from big websites like Vitacost, Walmart, Target, etc. Right. The main thing with that though is to make sure you're taking advantage of anything possible to boost your margins, right? Because the average Amazon product you're not just going to see it at Walmart.com for $10 and it sells for 30 on Amazon, right? It's going to be 15 at Walgreens, 20 on Amazon. And then you can also use, a coupon here, maybe a discounted gift card, you add some cash back, that kind of thing. And all of that together creates your profit. That's just like the big misconception. Don't expect to just load up a website and everything's profitable, right? You got to like create the profit margin is how I like to break it down. Just shipped out your first shipment through Boxem. That's what's up. Yeah. So getting those profit boxes out there. Love to see that. Yeah. For any of you guys, a bunch of you guys on TikTok today. So Boxem is how you like make shipments and track inventory, make your listings, all that kind of stuff. What should you do to make your first sales? You can start with auto ungated products. That's a good place to start. Like every Amazon account will automatically be approved to sell some brands. So if you plug in a couple examples like Cuddle Duds or Stafford, and then look at the other brands that those people are selling, there's going to be a bunch of opportunities that new Amazon sellers can kind of take advantage of for sure. So that's kind of the short answer. Long answer we'll break down in about an hour and a half on the free class. So we'll jump into how to get approved to sell new brands, how to source them, and some Kiva product finder sourcing, which is stuff that's usually only on the free class. So we'll see you guys there in a little bit. And that's up in my bio. It's on a private call, but it is completely free, like I said. Yeah, completely free. Just hop on the call if you're serious about this stuff. Let's see. Can a local wholesaler get you ungated in big brands? Yeah, for sure. As long as you're buying from a wholesaler, a website, a retailer that is legit, that's going to work for your ungating. Where it won't work is if it's like a fake, a fake supplier or something on Instagram or something like that. Let's see. There we go. Mic on TikTok should be fixed. Yeah, the mic for you guys on TikTok, the Shure is going to YouTube. We're live on YouTube as well right now. Let's see. When in doubt, ask. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. If you're doing wholesale, reaching out to distributors, that kind of thing, always make sure that they're like actually allowed to sell you those products, basically. Let's see. Yeah, didn't scam anybody on that, dog. People got what they paid for. Yeah. Met you at Miami Sellers Conference, gave you game on growing your audience. That's what's up. Oh yeah, I remember talking to you, Teo. What's up, man? Yeah. All right. Not sure what's going on there, man, but I have to get you out of here. Let's see. Yeah, let me know what other questions you guys got here. How much does it cost to start Amazon FBA? Like at least $1,000 if you have that. Yeah, if you have at least $1,000, then you're good to go. You're doing groceries, FBM. Yeah, that's a good place to start for sure, Daniel. I like that you got FBA in your name. You're doing FBM. Making money wherever you can. I like it. Very nice. Yeah. Sweet. Yeah. Let me know what other questions you guys got here. Is it oversaturated? I mean, people have been asking if Amazon was saturated. I started in like 2019, and then when I started, people was like, "Oh, it's too late to sell on Amazon. You know, it's dead." That kind of thing. What is oversaturated or dead or whatever you want to call it is doing the exact same thing every year, year after year. Like running any business is about kind of being adaptable. So we've definitely changed how we source products and what we sell and all that kind of stuff over time, but I don't think there's, it'd be very, very hard for there to never be anything that sells for less than it does on Amazon, right? Right now, there's about 750,000 products on Amazon that Amazon doesn't sell, the brand doesn't sell, and it sells at least 30 times a month. So that's kind of the entire market for reselling. So, there's a whole lot of profitable products to go around, basically. Let's see. Can you start with zero? You can't start on you can't start Amazon FBA with $100. Yeah, you can't start with zero just because you have to buy products to make money, obviously. Yeah. If you have like at least $1,000, if you're like truly broke, do some gig work, get on the apps, that kind of thing. Do some Uber Eats, whatever you got to do. Or you can also buy stuff really cheap from like thrift stores. That's what I did. I was hitting thrift stores for like a year. Yeah. Kind of build up my capital, that kind of thing. Let's see. You can't sell, everything is gated. Please help. Yeah. So you want to sell things that are gated, right? Because if there weren't, like if there was no process for getting approved to sell new brands, you'd just constantly be competing with people who are selling fakes, right? Because they just make a new account, sell fake products, get banned, do it on repeat, right? To get approved to sell those big name brands, you just need to buy it from a legit retailer, legit distributor, that kind of thing. What's up? Not gonna lie, I put you on. Yeah, appreciate that, man. Yeah. Yeah. So we got a free course, and then also we're doing a free live class tonight. So for all you guys that are kind of getting more serious about making some money on Amazon, that's up in my bio on TikTok, down below on YouTube. We'll see you guys in about an hour. We'll show you how to source products and all that good stuff, basically. Do affiliate. So I don't really do Amazon affiliate vibes. I buy stuff and resell it. So I actually own the products. Yeah. You're doing the free class? Yeah, Lloyd. Yep. So we'll be on Zoom here in about an hour, showing, sourcing products with you and answering questions, all that good stuff. And it's completely free. What's better, thrift stores or wholesale? So there's a lot of different ways to make money on Amazon. It just depends on what you're good at and what you could see yourself doing for a long time, right? So I have lots of friends who do wholesale and they make a ton of money doing wholesale. That's just not a business I really enjoy running. I've done a little bit of wholesale, but I much more enjoy kind of building systems around buying stuff that I can flip from websites. It's just a lot more fun for me, doing online arbitrage. So yeah, it's just, pick something you can see yourself doing for a really long time and get consistent. And that's what's actually important, right? And that even goes for any opportunities outside of Amazon, outside of reselling, all that kind of stuff. Basically everything works. You just have to pick something that you can see yourself doing and enjoying for a long time. That's like the real secret when it comes to doing something that'll make you some money online. What's next after back to school season? Halloween will be nice for like some candy, and then honestly, Labor Day will be the next kind of bigger opportunity because there'll be a ton of sales and really cheap buying opportunities. And that'll be stuff we can start stocking up for, like, Halloween rush, November, December, that kind of thing. Yeah, basically right now is the back to school rush, which is super fun. And then that's only going to build your momentum into Christmas. So typically the Amazon sellers I talk to who, I've even helped a little bit and that kind of thing, who, they're able to do like $100,000 in their first few months. They almost always start like during this time of year because it's just way easier to scale right now because people are starting to amp up to buy a whole lot more stuff on Amazon, right? It just makes sense with Christmas and back to school and the holidays, all that. That creates a lot of stuff that just becomes like way overpriced, and we can cash in on that basically. How much do you need to start? And for a beginner, what do you need to do? At least $1,000. And as far as like what to do, make sure you're on the free class tonight. It'll basically be like a free course to show you what to do. The short answer is just buying and reselling stuff. The long answer obviously requires some real work and some technical knowledge and that kind of stuff that we'll break down with you guys live tonight. How do you see brand names if you didn't buy from a wholesaler? I mean, you'll still know what brand it is. Like, yeah, if you're worried about like ungating, you can always have your supplier add the UPC as well. Let's see. Currently sourcing, watching the OA videos, trying to find the right product. Any advice? You also have a 9-to-5 job, so you don't have much time in the day. Yeah, George, I know there's a lot of people who do Amazon and have the 9-to-5 job. To be honest, some people like think they're gonna want to quit the 9-to-5, and then they realize it doesn't actually take that much time to grow an Amazon business once you have kind of understood how to do all the basics. Right now, the only thing that matters, especially early on, is getting better at product sourcing. There's a lot of things that'll feel like fake progress, whether that's getting ungated in a bunch of different brands, or getting all these like random tax things perfectly lined up and that kind of thing. The only thing that actually grows your business is sourcing more inventory and talking to other Amazon sellers, right? Those are the two biggest possible growth tasks for you. So for you, George, like, and for most of you guys, you probably have a 9-to-5. You got a busy life already. Just figure out where you can set aside 30 minutes here, 2 hours here, whatever you can truly afford to set aside, and do whatever you can, right? Obviously, if you're already extremely busy, don't expect to do $100,000 in your first month. But it's very possible to balance all this stuff. You just got to figure out like where you wasting a little bit of time on TikTok here and there, that kind of thing. Spend that extra 30 minutes on your business, building your future, basically. Struggling to find suppliers. What vendor you recommend? So my suppliers, if you want to say it like that, is any website. And specifically, there's a list up in my bio on TikTok of about 100 different places that I source inventory from. If you want to see exactly where I source products from, but it's basically just the biggest websites online. And over time, you get good at understanding what some of the the best sales you'll see websites are that they run. And then as you start to understand when those really good buying opportunities come around, you only have to source there when those opportunities is currently running, basically. Early on though, you just kind of have to build that knowledge and start understanding. And that's why a lot of people don't get anywhere on Amazon, because it's a lot of different moving parts, right? You have to know what brands to sell, where to source them, how to source them, all that kind of thing. And fortunately and unfortunately, the only way you can learn that is by starting to buy and resell stuff. Yeah, but the nice part is you only have to buy a few units when you're reselling from websites. If it doesn't work, that's okay. You bought a few units and you learned a lesson, right? Just kind of look at it like the cost of tuition, basically. Thought you got banned doing OA if they request an invoice. Definitely not, Cody. Yeah, I actually thought that was true too. So when I started, I sold used books, and I didn't even realize that people were able to sell name brand stuff. I thought it wasn't allowed as well. But as long as you're sticking to legit retailers, then you're good to go. Where it can become problematic is if you're buying stuff from Alibaba or really random websites that Amazon might not trust and that kind of thing. Just stick to big, fairly trustworthy websites. You can always check Trustpilot or a Better Business Bureau, that kind of thing. Make sure that they're actually legit. And then if Amazon ever asks for documentation, you just grab the order confirmation, the shipping confirmation, just kind of show Amazon how you bought it. And I've done that multiple times. We've had probably at this point 10-ish times I've had to submit invoices to Amazon to prove that this is legit, whether it's an IP complaint or Amazon fully says, hey, we're going to disable your account if you don't upload your invoices for these products. And we used online invoices, and they're like, all right, you're good. And it's just kind of they'll kind of do random checks of accounts to make sure that you're sourcing real inventory, which is annoying in the short run, but it also prevents us from having to compete with people that aren't buying real inventory, right? Because it's a lot easier to compete when you're buying fake fake cosmetics for $1 from China and competing with people actually buying and reselling the real stuff. So it is good that Amazon makes sure that the sellers are legit, even if it is annoying when you're having to appeal and that kind of thing. Are you reselling products from other brands? Yeah, that's all I do, Rap. Yeah, just buying and reselling stuff that already sells. For sure. Do you only source name brand products when they're on sale? Not only when they're on sale. It just typically is going to be the only time that they are like at least extremely profitable to sell. Because like especially when you're talking about buying from websites, they obviously bought from a wholesaler. So if you're competing with wholesalers on things, then they might have a cheaper price during these 3 weeks of the year or these 3 weeks of the month, if that's how you want to look at it. But that last week, there's a really good sale plus a coupon, maybe some cash back, that kind of thing. And that's the big misconception people have about like online arbitrage and wholesale and that kind of thing is typically online arbitrage costs are lower than wholesale. They're just less consistent. So the game is how do I get as good as possible at restocking all the products that I'm finding. And then that's how you scale with like doing very little extra work. Obviously, to get to that point, it's just a matter of learning how to source and finding those first products and that kind of thing. But over time, like every product you find basically becomes your own catalog of restocks. Let's see. I've definitely done some wholesale jams. I've probably done $500,000 in wholesale lifetime, somewhere around there. I enjoy online arbitrage a lot more, and I think it's more fun to just build the systems for that. There's a lot of different ways to make money, so I like doing the ones that I enjoy a little bit more. Let's see. Where's the class? Yeah, so we're the free class. You can register for that down below on YouTube, up in the bio on TikTok. It'll be in like an hour. We'll show you guys the whole kind of step-by-step process, basically. You want to start selling Amazon? What should you do? Wholesale or private label? You should do neither. Just because you're going to make some really expensive mistakes if you start in like wholesale private label. You definitely can. I know people who do, but you're going to make some pretty expensive mistakes. So I would just start buying and selling from websites first, just like online arbitrage. You got your Amazon account to be a business account. Unfortunately, when you source it, it shows you business prices. That should be fine as long as you're not using Prime benefits, Jose. I assume you're talking about buying from Amazon to sell back on Amazon, doing like Amazon to Amazon flips. That's fine as long as you're not using like Prime shipping, because then it becomes against terms of service. Yeah, let me know what that question is, Squash. Yeah, K Corp, you can shoot me a DM on that. You think somebody hacked your Amazon account? Oh man, that would not be good, Jimmy. I mean theoretically it is possible, but you'd want to talk to Amazon on that. Call them, that kind of thing. Yeah, Squash. So like I said, the class tonight is completely free, man. So I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, I spend a lot of time making content because we build the best software for Amazon sellers. So rather than having to charge $5,000 for some crazy course or that kind of thing, if you're a successful seller and keep using the best software for Amazon sellers, then we both win, right? So that's just kind of the game, and I like that. We kind of have we have the same incentives that way, basically. What supplies do you feel are the most important to start with? Nothing too crazy, just like a printer. You can get like a Rollo or just like a laser printer. If that is, if you got plenty of startup budget, it'll be like a little bit of a time saver. Poly bags, boxes, a lot of that you can get for free. UPS, you can get labels for free. USPS will give you some boxes for free, specifically for doing USPS shipments. Yeah, nothing too crazy, Connie. And then probably the more important supplies are the softwares, right? So that's going to be SellerAmp, Boxum, and Keepa. And that's about $90 a month for all the software you need. 25, Jose. You're from Brazil. You've been selling Amazon for about a year. You've made 30K so far using eBay and directly to the end customer. Yeah, that's awesome, man. I will say, if you said you're going from eBay directly to the customer, you might be drop shipping. That might be against TOS, unless you're talking about buying from eBay, coming to you, and then shipping it to the customer. You have to own the product at some point. This is not using FBA. I pretty much only do FBA wrap, but you can also do FBM. That would be like the alternative to FBA. I do almost all FBA just because it's a little bit more scalable. But a lot of times there are products where, for example, back to school items, it's probably too late to send in back to school shipments. By the time they check in, the peak back to school season is going to be over. But there's a lot of things right now that are like spiking in price. So if you like go to your Walmart or wherever you find them profitably, I would list those FBM, for example. So FBM is like short-term opportunity or testing products faster. because when it sells, you're going to ship it direct to the customer rather than ship it to Amazon, wait for them to check it in, then they're going to ship it to customers as it sells. How do you sell? Yeah, it would be the same as any other product, Hamat. What do you put for inbound shipping on SellerAmp? Yeah, I tend to pay about 60 to 70 cents a pound. If you're sending a lot of smaller shipments, you might be closer to like 80 to 90 cents a pound. Yeah, that's where I would kind of estimate it. Let's see. Yeah, 160K in sales, trying to scale the right way. That's what's up. Yeah. You can spit. So yeah, the free class tonight is mostly for beginners, but we also dive into some sourcing methods and some scaling tactics. I'll talk about how to take advantage of like prep centers and virtual assistants and that kind of thing. And that will be kind of maybe more useful for you, kind of scaling for the long term. But yeah, and, I think you get some value out of it, Ian, unless you already know a ton about like KPF and keep it tracking and that kind of thing. Free class, the Zoom link at the bottom after signing up. Yeah, so the free class is on Zoom tonight. Yeah. And then to get signed up, it's just go.thefbaroadmap.com/register, or the link is below or up above on TikTok. Any advice on how to win safety claims when the customer states didn't receive? You'll just upload the tracking information, and then the tracking proof would show that it shows that it actually showed up, basically. You make products. If you have like handmade products, Juice, I would do those on like Etsy. Amazon doesn't typically end up being the best for handmade things. If you have your own like line of products that you created, that'd be like a private label thing. And that's not really something I specialize in. I just buy and sell things that are already profitable, basically. Kind of flipping the lowest hanging fruit, basically. As a new seller, what categories should you avoid, and what categories are great? So to be honest, like every category has good items in it. Now, obviously, when you're doing, especially reselling, some of them are going to have a lot easier sourcing opportunities. Typically, those are going to be things where there's lots of different websites that are selling the same products. So for my reselling business, that's things like vitamins and clothes and groceries, and because if you think about all the like really popular brands in those categories, there's tons of different websites competing with each other to have like the lowest prices, best experience on that kind of thing. So then that ends, those websites drive down their price, and then eventually the Amazon price gets way more expensive than everybody else who's competing with each other. And that's kind of what you're looking for. So like more specifically, I like to focus on like what are good brands to sell, George, because there's some categories I don't like, but there's a couple brands that are really good, and vice versa. I actually made a video on YouTube recently, like just kind of for fun, going through like a tier list of categories for my Amazon business. So that might be kind of fun if you want to check that one out. But I wouldn't limit yourself, basically, is the short answer. There's profit everywhere. You'll just kind of naturally, you'll usually naturally get good at sourcing like a couple niches, a couple brands, that kind of thing. And then eventually you can expand those skills that you use to master like a small amount of products, and that'll apply to most things. But yeah, just kind of start digging into storefronts, basically. If you're not sure what people are already having success on, that's the easiest thing to do, is just reverse engineer what's working for other people. Got to use cashback and discounted gift card. Yeah, that's facts, Adrian. Yeah, bunch of bonus money there. Yeah, for example, I know a lot of people are like scared of credit cards and that kind of thing, but at the very least, you should be paying it off every single month, because then you can get 2% back on everything you buy, right? So like for where we're at, we're usually spend $80,000 to $100,000 a month on inventory, and we do that all on a 2% cashback card. So obviously that's like one very small way to make an extra $2,000 a month, essentially. There's a lot of stuff like that. Check in a cashback monitor. I'll show you like all the different places you can get maximum cashback from, that kind of thing. Don't go for a lot of the big brands. Yeah, that can be very true as well, Adrian. I like selling the stuff that no one gets on Amazon to start selling faucets and door handles and stuff like that, right? But a lot of those can be extremely profitable. Oil filters, I've sold a bunch of those. Don't get me wrong, I also sell a lot of stuff that is popular and you think of wanting to resell and that kind of thing. But a lot of times the highest margin is on those products where it's like some random 2-pack of, some outdoor bug zapper, that kind of thing, right? It'll just be like random stuff. You have a question about sourcing from eBay. If you find a new product, would you recommend listed as new on Amazon? Personally, I don't, Edgar. I know there's other people that'll disagree with you, but to me, you're relying on Amazon trusting some random eBay seller as an authorized retailer, basically, which is typically not going to be the case. So for me, I don't do that, but I know other people do. Just kind of up to your personal risk tolerance, but I would not personally recommend it. What are some brands that only need 10 to ungate? Most say 300 to 100. Yeah, so the nice part about those is 10 units still works on all those. I have never submitted more than 10 units for an ungate, even if it says like hundreds, and it works. You just got to keep submitting. Do you sell shoes or clothes? Yep, I've sold a good amount of that. And usually what I like to sell just kind of changes depending on the time of year. So like right now, we're doing a fair amount of clothes and shoes because it's like back to school season, college, kids clothes, that kind of thing. A few months ago, it was a lot less of that, probably more vitamins and groceries and just kind of, very traditional stuff. And then in December, when everyone's Christmas shopping, we'll probably be, again, pretty heavy on clothes, shoes, toys, maybe chocolates, some giftable groceries, that kind of thing. Basically anything that people give as gifts. Would you recommend buying inventory from Trader Joe's? Yeah, you definitely can, Charlie. There's a bunch of listings on Amazon that are very popular, that are like Trader Joe's brands, because it makes sense. Like if you're living in, I don't know, rural Nebraska, probably don't have a Trader Joe's down the road, but there might be like this one particular thing you love from Trader Joe's. So the only place you're buying that is on Amazon from somebody like us, right? So yeah, there's definitely a lot of opportunity there. Sweet. I'm probably gonna go ahead and wrap everything up for the stream there, though. So I'll see you guys in 58 minutes for the free class. If you're on TikTok, click up here. There's a free class we're hosting in about an hour. And then on YouTube, that's going to be down below. So we'll see you guys soon. I'm excited to get into all that, kind of show you how to source, set up your business to succeed in the long run, all that good stuff. And I will see you guys again soon. Good vibes for sure.